But you can't also do certain things alone. How can you speak to me also on
Yeah.
the level of discernment? It's very important to also know, discern, have a level of discernment on
Mm.
certain things. What's your thought on that?
Okay, first I'm going to talk about the foundational process. The foundational process only works if you know what you want for yourself.
Mm.
You know, there's
Yeah.
never, you can never be a bold if you don't know what you want to bold, right?
100%.
You can't say, oh, I'm going to have a house, but you don't know what the house is going to look like, or you don't envision the end process or that end product. So if you know what you want for yourself and you know how you want to be, you're going to put in that 2 cents every day to be like, okay, maybe I want to be more confident. Maybe I want to speak out more. You're going to practice that on a daily. Maybe you speak to yourself in the mirror. Tomorrow you maybe speak to a family member. Just let them sit down and hear you listen. And then listen to you, sorry. And then you start building yourself up to a point where you're like, okay, now I see where I want to be, and you see the progress. So in terms of foundational process, you need to know what you want at the end of that process. Because there's no foundation if you don't actually have a goal.
You need.
Or there's no problem if you don't see what you want to change. Because like you can say, oh, something is wrong, but if you don't see that change, it will stay wrong. So that's just me on like speaking off the jump. And then you said, what was the other question you asked about discernment, right?
Yeah, discernment.
You asked how do you know? So the thing is, one thing I can tell you is we are people because of people. But then again, remain who you or like stay true to yourself. Because sometimes you can have someone that you know will betray you or do you dirty or isn't really there for the long term. But sometimes it doesn't mean you should just like eliminate them from in that moment. Because sometimes you can even have someone that is not for you, but like they can be a part of like your destiny. They could be there to somehow push you into a certain direction. So the discernment should be like, as I said, know who you're gonna give your full access to. Like it's a thing about access. You don't always allow everybody into your circle, or fully into your circle. Some people you don't allow everybody into your yard. Some people can greet them from the road, be like, hi there, how you doing? Some people allow them to enter the yard, but not into the house. So it's a thing of access. So certain people, they might be there, but for the short-term goals, and then they're not there for the long term. Some people are there for the long term. So it's a thing of like, know what you want and see if these people have certain things, maybe certain aspects of them would be there to help you out in that short-term process, but it doesn't mean give them your full self. It's a thing of access, as I said. It's a thing of access, but most of the time it's not easy. That's one thing I can say. Discerning between who's right and who's wrong is not always the easiest process. Because as I said, some things come with the glitz, with the glam, or they look nice for that moment. And then you only realize when it's too late. But if you know yourself, you know what you want, in a way, it makes it easier, because now like, you look at someone, you're like, are they really there for the growth? Or are they just going to send me further down the drain? Because it's a thing of like, me myself, it's like a thing of like, I know I'm always in that mentality like, nah, I'm at the bottom. So this motivates me to be like, okay, tomorrow I want to be at least a bit better than I am today, you know. So